What is up, Budget Billers? My name is Trill, and we have some breaking news that happened overnight. The invasion on Ukraine has begun. Watch what happened here live on TV last night.
Resist. Oh, I tell you what, I just heard a big bang right here behind me. I thought we shouldn't have done the live shot here. There are big explosions taking place in Kyiv right now. I can't see where they're taking place from this vantage point here on top of the roof of the hotel in central Kyiv. And I can't explain what they are, but I heard 4 or 5 explosions a few moments ago. I don't know whether our viewers or whether you in the studio there could hear what I just heard. You could.
There you have it, guys. It is official. The invasion on Ukraine has started, and Russia has launched several missile strikes on Kyiv and targeting their control centers. As you've seen in the video, you could hear explosions coming from the direction of where Russia is. But it's official, and the war has begun. Now, what does this mean for us here in the United States? Will Russia attempt to attack the Americans on our own soil? How will our stock markets react to this particular news this morning? And how will gas prices react? We will go over that in this video, guys. But also, we have more information on the $415 million that was just wiped away in student loan debt. But the real question is, could this mean that President Biden is prepared to wipe away even more? And we will hear from Bernie Sanders and his message to the president. And lastly, guys, hey, we have one state that will be sending out $500 stimulus checks by the end of this week. So if you're interested in any of these topics today and you want to be a part of this channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it. It's totally free. And if you end up liking today's video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Well, guys, the Russian attack on the Ukraine officially started overnight. Yes, according to this article and the video that I just showed you guys, Russian troops launched their anticipated attack on Ukraine as President Putin cast aside international condemnation and the sanctions, warning other countries that any attempt to interfere would lead to consequences you have never seen. Now, that shot right there from President Putin is directly at the United States as well as the other NATO allies. But anyways, guys, hey, big explosions were heard before dawn, and you saw that on the previous video earlier in this video. But those were the initial bombs first reported by the Russians, in which they have launched these attacks on the control centers in Kyiv as well as other places in the Ukraine. Now, we briefly heard from President Biden, in which he said that President Putin has chosen a premeditated war with military operation against the Ukraine. Also, world leaders have also condemned Russia's military actions, and Putin announced Thursday that Russia will conduct military operations in eastern Ukraine, according to an NBC translation of his speech that he gave at 6 a.m. Russian time. Now, President Biden also stated that Russia alone is responsible for the death and destruction this attack will bring, and the United States and its allies, as well as their partners, will respond in a united and decisive way. He said the world will hold Russia accountable for their actions. Now, this all started earlier on Thursday, Russian time, in which President Putin made the announcement in an address to the nation just before dawn on Thursday in Moscow. And shortly after that, that's when you could actually hear those bombs and those missiles striking with explosions on the video that I showed you earlier. So anyways, guys, hey, this war has begun. And overnight, hey, we did see our stock market in the United States dropping nearly 800 points after Russia announced the attacks on the Ukraine. Now, what does this mean for the United States? Well, not much just so far, because President Biden is not planning on participating in this attack against the Russians. However, the United States did provide ammunition, guns, as well as F-150 fighter jets. We have supplied those to the Ukraine in order for them to be able to use against the Russians. Now, in addition to that, the United States as well as their allies have stated that we will respond accordingly as well as collectively. But that does not mean that our own troops will be participating in the fight against the Russians. However, if the Russians do plan on attacking other places outside of the two designated areas, hey, the United States could step up and use their forces to protect these particular places in the Ukraine. But so far, that is not the plan, according to President Biden. In addition to that, hey, we also saw the oil prices jump overnight, in which they jumped about 5%. And we have now seen the Brent crude futures were up about 5.4%, and the oil barrel reached above the $100 level. Now, we have not seen this, guys, since 2014. So guys, this is definitely important, in which what is going on right now within the United States, as well as what's going on in Russia, as well as what's going on in Ukraine. So we are really entering into some territories that we have not seen in years, almost a decade, guys. And what does that mean for us here? Well, if we look at the fear and greed index right here, yesterday I reported to you that this was sitting at around 35. And now that the Russians have placed their attacks on the Ukraine, hey, the fear is now at 27. Could we see this fear and greed index meter reach to 0, which is extreme fear? We have not seen that happen since we've been detected of the pandemic that came in March of 2020. But here we are again, guys. Hey, that number right now is 27. I will let you guys know exactly where this stands sometime tomorrow. And then I saw a bit of disturbing news right here, because this article says that the former president, Donald Trump, was actually praising President Vladimir Putin and calling him savvy amid these new escalations on the Russian-Ukraine border. Now, it says that the former president, Trump, called Putin very savvy after the Kremlin recognized the independence of two breakaway Russian separatist-controlled regions in eastern Ukraine. Now, Trump went on to say that I went in yesterday and there was on television screen, and this is very genius. Putin declares a big portion of the Ukraine. Putin declares it as independent. Trump said in an interview on Tuesday on the conservative Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. But the former president was referencing the two rebel-controlled territories, and which make up a larger region called Donbas that borders Russia. The two territories have been led by pro-Russia separatists for nearly a decade. Now, Trump's remarks comes as tensions in the Ukraine have escalated, and the U.S. has ordered sanctions to try to kneecap Russia's ability to do business with the West. But again, guys, hey, I just thought this article was very unique, because our former president is actually giving President Vladimir Putin some praise, in which he is trying to take back these particular separatist locations in the Ukraine. But anyways, guys, hey, let me know what you think about the former president acknowledging this as being savvy. Let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this particular article. Now, moving on, guys, I mentioned this to you before about the education department has now forgiven $415 million in student loan debt for borrowers who attended some private schools. Nearly 16,000 student loan borrowers who attended for-profit schools will get their debts completely cleared, according to the United States Department of Education. Now, the reliefs totaling about $415 million has been announced. The U.S. Department of Education has announced it will cancel these particular student loans of nearly 16,000 borrowers who attended these certain for-profit schools, which included DeVry University. Now, this particular relief comes out to $415 million in total, but students count on their colleges to be truthful, it said. Cardona added, unfortunately, today's findings show too many instances in which students were misled into loans at institutions or programs that could not deliver exactly what they actually promised. So again, guys, hey, this is some good news, guys, but it does not stop there, because we did hear from the Senator Bernie Sanders. And if you go to his website, he has on the first page of his website, which says that college for all and cancel all student loan debt. It says right here that today we say to our young people that we want to get the best education that you can, regardless of the income of you and your family. Good jobs require a good education. That is why we are going to make public colleges and universities tuition free, as well as cancel all student loan debt. So yeah, guys, as you can see, Bernie Sanders is still pushing hard to relieve all student loan borrowers from all of their debt that they have accrued over the past years, in which these particular key points in this measure on Bernie Sanders' website is, number one, guarantee tuition and debt-free public colleges, universities, as well as HBCUs, as well as minority serving institutions and trade schools to all. And number two, cancel all student loan debt for some 45 million Americans who owe about $1.6 trillion. Number three, invest $1.3 billion every single year in private as well as non-private historically black colleges and universities and minority serving institutions. And then number four, inequality gaps in higher education attainment and to ensure students are able to cover non-tuition costs of attending schools by expanding Pell Grants to cover non-tuition and fee costs, as well as tripling funding for the work-study programs and much more. So again, guys, Bernie Sanders is continuing to fight for the American people, but also we did find another article in which he sent out a message to President Biden. And then in addition to that, hey, we did see on Bernie Sanders' Twitter page in which he was responding to the news from the Education Department, relieving the $415 million in student loan debt. He responded to their tweet saying that, good, now cancel the remaining $1 trillion and whatever this number is for the 45 million other Americans who are still drowning in student loan debt. So yes, guys, Bernie Sanders is not giving up just yet. And then he also pointed out in this article, he said that, however, this is minuscule amount of money when compared to the amount of student loan debt that is currently being held by borrowers across the country. According to the Federal Reserve data, borrowers held a collectively roughly around $1.75 trillion in student loan debts as of December of 2021, which is a record amount. Other estimates from the Student Debt Crisis Center peg the amount a bit higher than that at about $1.88 trillion as of this past Friday. So again, guys, hey, kudos to Bernie Sanders, in which he continues to fight for the American people, in which he is still trying to get the President Biden, to relieve all student loan debt, not just a little bit, but all student loan debt, which is around $1.8 trillion. Now, will he be able to do it? Hey, we still don't know as of yet. According to President Biden, he still believes that he does not have the authority to wipe away all student loan debt. But according to other people, as well as lawmakers and representatives in Congress, they believe that the President Biden does have the authority to do just that. But anyways, guys, hey, let me know what you think about that down below in the comment section. And last but not least, guys, hey, we do have one state that will be sending out $500 stimulus checks, and that is going to be going to about 500,000 individuals in the state of Massachusetts. Yes, it says that checks being mailed by March as part of the COVID-19 Essential Employee Premium Pay Program. Now, it says that hundreds of thousands of low-income workers in Massachusetts will soon be receiving $500 checks from the state of Massachusetts. The Baker administration on Tuesday unveiled plans for distribution of the cash payments as part of the COVID-19 Essential Employee Premium Pay Program. Now, these payments worth $250 million will be mailed to around 500,000 people by the end of March, according to the state of Massachusetts. Now, this is the first round of funds being distributed as part of the $460 million program that was enacted last December when Governor Charlie Baker signed a $4 billion spending plan for the American Rescue Plan Act's funds. But who exactly will be expected to receive one of these $500 stimulus payments? Well, people will be eligible for payments if their income from employment was at least $12,750 and their total income puts them below 300% of the federal poverty level. Now, the federal poverty level is set by the federal government and increases with households or family size, according to the state. And the maximum total income for a single filer with no dependents will be around $38,000. Now, a resident who files with a spouse and 2 dependents or with no spouse and 3 dependents could be eligible for a payment with a household income up to $78,000, as well as married couples filing jointly will be eligible to receive one of these stimulus checks as well. So again, guys, hey, I'm not going to finish reading all of this article, but you do know those individuals who make below the poverty level in the state of Massachusetts could be eligible to receive one of these $500 stimulus checks sometime in March, which is just a few days away, guys. Now, anyways, guys, hey, I hope all of this information in this video was helpful to you today. But don't forget, hey, I will include those links down below in the description. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.